Capricorn, this is Lost Twin Tarot. My name is Colette if you never viewed me before. Capricorn, this is a general reading for the week of March the 11th through the 17th. Um, just take the pieces that resonate, Capricorn, and leave the rest. Capricorn, when I was meditating on your cards, there was a few different things that I saw. Um, the first thing I noticed, I kept hearing two by two, brick by brick, two by two, brick by brick. And what I felt like that was kind of saying is that, maybe you could be like literally be building something if you could be getting a house built, and almost like they're laying brick by brick, or you could maybe be building them with something small like a two, you need a two by two for something if you're building something small. Maybe you're working on some sort of craft project or something like that. I was, feeling like something like that. The other thing I was noticing when I was pre-shuffling is that the same cards were coming out, and they were coming out twice. The Sun came out twice. The King of Pentacles came out twice. Um, a lot of the same cards kept coming out twice, over and over again. The Seven of Swords came out twice. The Devil came out twice. A lot of the same things kept coming out twice. The other thing I noticed was, if you're going to be going out um, in the week of the 11th through the 17th was, I noticed like if you like Mexican food or something like that. Um, or somewhere like where there's like colorful tile, like mosaic tile or something like that. I noticed that you might be set up possibly like on a double date or something. Like maybe you just got out of a relationship or something and somebody wants to like set you up on a blind date or a double date or something like that, and you're like no, 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 and somebody's like kind of wants to set you up on something. Either that, or I feel like you could be going out with a group of people, and I feel like you could be possibly running into somebody that you haven't seen in a long time, or you could just be meeting somebody who possibly, you kind of strike up a conversation with. I feel like it could be cut short though, something kind of something about something being short, either that person is short or you're significantly shorter than they are. Something like that. Something is about short. Um I feel like also something about has to do with your hands that week. You could be having some pain in your hands, either because of your working. I feel like that person either notices something, either if you work with your hands a lot, you could be having pain in your hands. This could be also like if you're like a male and your like hands are like kind of like you have like a lot of like work, like it shows in your hands. Maybe you have like, grease under your fingernails or something like that, and it shows or something like that. Um, I feel like they'll take notice of that possibly. Either that or you could be complaining about your hands and like that person could maybe like rub your hands maybe for like, and it might kind of take you off guard because you're very independent and kind of, don't really expect it. I feel like, it's a little bit kind of like that, but that's what I'm getting. So we'll see what kind of comes out. On the bottom, you have the Five of Swords, and on the clarification deck, you have the Chariot. So let's see what kind of comes out. The Five of Swords can talk about, it can talk about, winning at all costs. It can talk about taking a risk. It can talk about different things. It can talk about being confused and kind of in the head as well. You could be talking about, if you are in a group, maybe somebody kind of wants to kind of lead and kind of have it their way in the group. They kind of are like, well, this is kind of what we're going to do. And you're like, okay, well, let's see what kind of has. All right. So let's see. You have the Page of Pentacles. You have the Six of Swords, the Four of Wands, the Three of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. You have the Four of Wands. You have the Five of Pentacles. You have the Three of Swords, the World, the Tower, and the Fool. I will do some further clarifications, Capricorn, just to see what else is going to come out for you. I feel like I drink so much before I do these readings, and no matter what, my throat is always gets dry. I don't know why, but all right, so you have the Four of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. What I feel like that's saying is, the Four of Wands can talk about, celebration, a gathering. Maybe you are, like I said, you could be going out. Maybe you're celebrating for St. Patrick's Day if that's something you celebrate. Maybe you're celebrating it like at your house. This can also be like an opportunity. The Page of Pentacles can be, a new love offer, somebody who's coming in, that is, somebody who is kind of, they're introducing themselves. Could be getting set up. This could be somebody who is, is a hard worker, just like you are. They're also good with money, as well, and that's something that you really, like seeing. You like somebody who works just as hard as you do. You like somebody who's good with money. You like somebody who's not, not lazy. You want somebody who's, knows, who's similar to you. And I feel like, you could actually see, like maybe a potential future with this Four of Wands card. Um, the other thing is that, with this Page of Pentacles, they kind of could be almost kind of like it's something that you kind of can see like long, could be like, if this isn't a love, type of situation, this could have to do with, you possibly just having, a good, something happening at home where you could possibly you could be working from home, you could start something like a business at your home, something like that. You could be, possibly having your child. This could represent, pages can represent children. You could be having your children at home. Um, they could be coming home to you over the weekend or something like that. They could be coming in with a positive message that possibly they've gotten a job and that's kind of taking some burden off you. And that's kind of, making you, happy in a sense because it kind of lightens the load. Um, with the Six of Swords, you have the Five of Pentacles. Um, and I feel like this is, kind of relates to that a little bit. You could have been a little bit, in maybe a financial bind in a situation. Maybe that's, kind of, relates to that where, you kind of are kind of heading on to, that calmer swords, that typical Six of Swords. But with the Five of, pentacles, this can also represent, you feeling like you were left out in the cold. You've been feeling kind of lonely. You've been feeling like, things haven't just, you've been just kind of feeling, that little rabbit, he's kind of just sitting, like laying there out in that storm. But there's still those little, you know, little like almost like orbs of light around. You've been feeling kind of just like you've been down in the rain and everything, but at the same time, it's like you still kind of feel like, there's kind of glimmers of hope around you. You just kind of don't know when it's going to, get better. I feel like this could kind of be no matter whether it's financial or kind of just in a love situation or friendship situation. I feel like you feel like things could get, better. You have the Four of Wands again. You have the Four of Wands, you know, twice. You have the Three of Swords twice, and they're all kind of like sandwiched together here. You have the Four of Wands again. You have the Three of Swords. And you have the Three of Swords right here next to it. I feel like this could be something that, could have happened. If this is happening, maybe, if this has happened in the past or this happened, recently. If this is happening this week, it's literally back to back. Um, if something happens and plans get canceled, something you literally have the world right next to it. So I feel like this was maybe something in the past where you thought you thought something was going to be working out. And it kind of, broke your heart a little bit. You were, a little bit, you thought this was going to be, maybe you thought this was somebody you were going to marry, or you thought you were going to move in with this person, or you thought this was going to be, you know, you thought you were gonna, have, buy this house, move to this place. Um, you thought things were, were building something like with that, when I was meditating, you felt like, little by little, you thought, things were kind of, building something, and it really didn't, work out to your, work out like the way you planned. Um, next you have the Three of Swords and the World though, next to it. And I feel like, what this is saying is that, when one thing happens, it's almost like the one, you have the Three of Swords, but then right across from it, you have the Three of Swords, but then you have the World on top, which is a much more powerful card. Um, than that Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, they're diagonally from each other. The Four of Wands is a very good card, but it's also a much more temporary card. It's a minor arcana compared to a major arcana compared to the world. The world is also, it's a achievement. It's also about, you going through almost like a portal, which is fitting because the Four of Wands, it can represent almost like a pause with those, those four lines there. It's almost like you had to take a pause for a minute after you had your, heart broken, whether this was about a person or a situation, whether this be about money or something that you just really thought was going to work out, whether it be a job, a home situation, family situation, whatever you thought kind of was going to work out for you. But I feel like it was almost just like a temporary, setback, because now you're kind of going into, you're crossing over with the world card into something so much better. The next you have the Nine of Cups with the Tower card. I feel like with the tower, this could be something that is kind of unexpected that could be happening that week. But I feel like it's almost kind of like a shakeup, but it's going to be something that's going to lead to a lot of fulfillment. It might be something that almost kind of catches you off guard that you don't expect. But it's going to be almost like something that you kind of need. So we'll do further clarifications, but I feel like it's almost like something you have the Fool right afterwards. So it's almost feel like it's like something that's if this tower doesn't come in, it's almost like you won't be able to get to your Nine of Cups unless this tower kind of, this tower kind of comes in and kind of rattles you around. And then yeah, and then you have the Fool, I keep figuring because it's, backwards. The Fool with the Six of Pentacles. And on the Fool card, the Fool's just like, it can be considered the most powerful card in the tarot. It stands for, innocence. It stands for almost like that, not, I don't want to say naive, but yeah, just that young innocence, like that, kind of like that, just carefree way of looking at things. There's really almost like when you think of like a child, they really don't have a lot of fear in life. Because they haven't seen like like the ugly like we have seen like as adults. They really don't. It's like when kids jump off of things and you say, don't do that, you're going to get hurt. And it's like they don't really realize it because they haven't experienced like, pain and, like we have. And I feel like almost like this is saying, for you with that Six of Pentacles, to, kind of like let go of any fears or pain or past things that you have experienced, and kind of remember back to a time where, things were a little bit, when the world, or when you had, when things were a little bit nicer, when things were a little bit kinder, when you were a little bit kinder to yourself. The Six of Pentacles represents kindness. It represents equal give and take. You could be at a time, um, if you're involved with a person where you could be in an equal give and take relationship. Maybe in the past you were with somebody who was more take. um you know this is also a card of starting to plant seeds in a new direction, where things are going to be more for the long run, and more for the you know kind of like a mm, kind of like more of a more for the long run, but also in a way where more for a way where it's kind of like the Six of Pentacles represents, like, you having a skill or something that other people don't have. So it's kind of like, not to be afraid in a way, because it's not going to be like before, because you have something that other people don't have to offer, whether this is a job, so it's not like you should be having anxiety or anything like that. Because it's almost like, this is something that's, for you. It fits for you. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes it kind of gets all wound up and balled up together. Let's do some further clarification for you, Capricorn. Let's see what the Page of Pentacles and Four of Wands have for you, Capricorn. All right, let's see, the two wanted to come out. You have the Two of Pentacles on the bottom, and you have the Two of Wands and the Hermit with that. And this can definitely represent, this can represent with those two cards, the Hermit's definitely about, um, kind of like, taking, they say it can be from like a dark night of the soul, and it can be, but it's also about, having the wisdom. It's about, you've gained a lot of wisdom in a situation and what you've been going through, but it's also talking about that you have a lot to learn as well. Capricorns are very smart. They're very assertive, and I feel like, that you are smart. In a lot of ways, and you might be also smarter than a lot of other people as well, and I think that. But I feel like also when you meet different people, also kind of need to accept, or you are accepting, that they have different life experiences that they can show you, as well, um, with that Hermit card. And I feel like with the Two of Wands, this can also be like you kind of, making plans about, and kind of they fit together. Traditionally, he has that, world in his hands on that Rider Waite deck, and it's kind of like, he has the world in his hands. He has had a lot of experience, like the Hermit card, but he still has, the world is like his oyster. It's really fitting. I feel like you're kind of opening up to new experiences, and this can definitely be about a new person. They could be really different from you. They could be a lot like you. They could be a hard worker, or this new job, new project. It could be right up your alley, but at the same time, it could be something really different that could, kind of open, your eyes, or open your world up to something completely kind of, new, and like a new life experience for you. What's the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Swords? You have the Ten of Pentacles on the bottom and the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like this is definitely it could be a money situation, or this could be, if it's not a money situation, it's definitely things could definitely just be improving stability wise. The Ten of Pentacles is the best money card in the deck for sure. And so is, with the Six of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, you could definitely be receiving some money with that. I also feel like, if you're um maybe things are just starting to work out where you're focused more on kind of maybe your stability. Maybe you're just starting to get things worked out. Maybe there was a situation in your life where you had to tend to some things, tend to some responsibilities. Maybe somebody was kind of dragging you down a little bit, and it caused you to maybe put some of your resources into something. Um, or something like that. Maybe you've been having to do something like that, but now things are starting to kind of, build up. Maybe you're building a business in a way also with that, kind of brick by brick, two by two. Maybe you're starting to build something. You're starting to really see your resources grow as well with that meditation. I was feeling it's like that stability is growing. What's the Four of Wands with the Three of Swords? You have the Ace of Cups and you have the Emperor on the bottom. Yeah, and the Ace of Cups, this could have been something in a situation where, with that Emperor on the bottom, that could have been somebody who was, maybe too controlling for you. With that Three of Swords, that could have been somebody who was trying to be, this could have been, if it's not a person, it could have been a job that you had to walk away from, or something that was just, you know, it was, too whether it's a family member or it's a job or a love situation. This could have just been, something that um, that you really had you really put all your, emotions into, you really put all your heart into it. And it was kind of, unfortunate, and you really kind of broke your heart that you had to walk away from this. What's the Ace of, or the Three of Swords with the World card? You have the King of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. Um, the Four of Pentacles is definitely about, you could be possibly communicating with someone who is an air sign, if they are have Libra in their chart. It's also somebody who's like a mentor if you're talking to somebody who's maybe a like someone who's like a mentor or a wise person. They could just be kind of really they are the wisest and the smartest and have the most like um knowledge of all the kings in the tarot. But you have the Four of Pentacles on the bottom there. So it's almost like they are they could be giving you some advice about just things that you could be letting go of as well. Um so they could so I feel like that's also helping you with that Three of Swords. This could also be the person who could be kind of coming into your um could be coming into your energy, and that's what's helping you kind of remove those swords with that Three of Swords. This could also be like a therapist if you're talking to like a therapist or something like that, or just somebody that you're getting good advice from. Um, this could be like a father figure as well. Just someone who's kind of good knowledge and someone who's not, overly emotional. They just kind of give good, straightforward advice for you. What's the Nine of Cups with the Tower? Two, what did it come out here? You have the Three of Cups. And you have the Temperance and the Five of Swords. Again, the Five of Swords is on the bottom of that first deck there, but you have the Three of Cups. But I feel like this is a kind of almost where that is coming in here. I feel like with the Three of Cups, like I would have saying on that, that meditation, somebody could be kind of trying to, um, almost try to like make the decisions like in a group or something like that. And I feel like almost, if this is within a group setting, whatever this could be at, it's almost like it's kind of like there's some sort of alchemy, like where there's a negative out of a positive or something, where this Five of Swords, this could be somebody who something starts off, could be starting off kind of not that great, you think, but then all of a sudden something hits with this tower. I feel like something, it's almost like you think the night's gonna go bad, or something's like you think something's gonna start like, out bad, or like the evening's gonna be like, oh, this is gonna be like the worst, or oh gosh, I don't want to go or something. I feel like it's almost something like that. You go to out, and then all of a sudden, and you're like feeling just like confused, you're kind of up in your head, you feel like somebody's kind of ruining the night almost, I feel like. But then all of a sudden, temperance kind of steps in, and it's kind of like that tower hits, and then something happens when you kind of get like your nine of cups is kind of just kind of there. I feel like it's almost sort of like that. Um, I feel like it's almost kind of like that situation. And then I feel like that could be almost like when doing that meditation, that's why, that's why the night gets cut short or something. Let's pull one more card for you to wrap this up for you, Capricorn. I'm sorry if this is a little long. Yeah, and lastly, you have the Fool with the Six of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands, and you have the Four of Swords on the bottom. Yeah, the Ace of Wands is all about out with the new, or out with the old and in with the new, and it's all about a new passion about something, a fiery new passion. And the Four of Swords is all about kind of contemplation, relaxing, kind of just taking a look. And this could be meditation, praying, and just kind of taking it all in, just kind of regrouping. This could be kind of relaxing after the evening if you're going out, or whatever this could be. Um, but yeah, this looks pretty interesting, Capricorn, I must say. But it looks really good. I mean, it's definitely interesting for the night, or interesting for the night. Could be an interesting night that you're having, but definitely looks it looks good. I feel like things look like they could be kind of a little bit kind of rocky, but I feel like they get better. I think something's coming in with that tower that you're not expecting, but I think it looks good. I'm sorry that this was so long, Capricorn. But if you did enjoy this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And until next time, definitely enjoy your week, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye.